Hey gang, welcome to another version of Wisdom Wednesday 2022. We're shooting live here from Austin, Texas. This is Mark Sweeney at Austin Dental Spa, and if you're tuning in for the first time to a Wisdom Wednesday, we like to have fun, keep it scientific but on the light side, and we have a theme every month, and the theme for the January of 2022 is Jumpstart Your Health. That's the best you're going to get out of me today. But jumpstart your health. So we've had a couple of good tips and recent studies coming out that are doing exactly that, talking about how you can jumpstart your health. Today we're going to have fun talking about 5 weird ways that you can boost your immune system. Now, these were kind of surprises for me, some of them too. Some of them make common sense, but these are 5 weird ways that you can boost your immune system. So you might even want to get a pencil out and write these down because I found them pretty interesting. So the first one, eat dark greens. If you get a salad and there's light greens and dark greens in there, eat the darker ones first, because the darker ones have a greater content of immune boosting carotenoids, with the same stuff that's high in carrots. They boost your immune system, and up to the dark greens have up to 50 times more carotenoids than the lighter inner leaves. Those are usually the outer leaves on a leafy plant. So turnips, a good one. Radishes. I had a salad today from Austin Salad Works, I think, that has thin sliced radish things, that are red on the outside and white on the inside. That's actually the root part. But actually, the leafy part of the radish has, I think, 10 times more vitamin C in it than the part that they feed you, and they throw the leafy part away. So if you're buying radishes at home, if you're a radish person, you might try that. I suspect the same thing is true with turnips as well, because they're in the same family. Anyway, carotenoids boost your immune system, so does vitamin C. So eat those leafy greens and eat the dark ones first. Second, this is a good one, eat hemp seeds. Now, where do you get hemp seeds? You get them from your local drug dealer. No, I'm sorry. That's the other kind of stuff that smells like hemp. But hemp is getting a lot of press these days. They're making clothing out of it. They're making ropes out of it. They're making all kinds of stuff out of hemp. And it's really getting studied for all the properties that people have just ignored all this time. But the hemp seeds have a coating that's very, very nutritious. You can get it at health food stores, and I suspect Whole Foods has them too. But the health food stores around town, there are numerous ones here in Austin. Get the hemp seeds. They're rich in fiber. Their creamy white inside is rich in antioxidants, and they have immune-boosting amino acids and essential fatty acids, the omega-3 and omega-6s. So they're good for you all the way around. So are pumpkin seeds, by the way. Third one, I thought this was really humorous. Eat 2 cloves of garlic per day. So that, you would think Italians are, much healthier than we are because of that. Most everything in Italian food has garlic in it. But garlic has something called allicin in it, ALLICIN, which fights infections and kills off bacteria. So British researchers gave 146 people either a placebo or a garlic extract for 12 weeks. And the garlic takers were 2/3 less likely to catch a cold. So one would think if it inhibits upper respiratory infections, might actually help with COVID, although they didn't study that. They were studying common colds. Fourth, take a probiotic. We hit on this a little bit last week. Probiotics, you can either get it naturally by eating fermented foods, which is what we talked about last week, pickles, sauerkraut, kimchi, but you can buy at Whole Foods and Central Market bottles of fermented vegetables. Like I love the carrots, and I take them and cut a couple of slices of a jalapeno and drop it in there too. So over the first week or so, that jalapeno will make the carrots kind of hot, and I like things pretty spicy. So, but if you don't want to do the fermented vegetables thing, the simple way is just buy a probiotic. There are multiple different brands. Look for the ones that have a different mixture of all the different strains, because they have different strains of bacteria, the good bacteria, like lactobacilli. Now, in dentistry, they taught us in dental school that lactobacilli are bad because they cause the cavities down in the little deep grooves in your tooth. But streptococcus is more gum disease and the decay on the smooth surfaces of the tooth. But the right amount of lactobacilli and the right strain of them, and they mix other things in. These are the bacteria that your gut lining normally has, your small intestine and your large intestine. They have them naturally occurring. That's how we digest our food. The bacteria and the funguses play a role to kind of keep a balance, but that's how we digest our food. So bacteria are not all bad. These probiotics help keep the right balance in your system by just doing it as a supplement. So take a probiotic, see what happens. They also boost your immune system. A lot of our immune system functions happen in the intestine, in the small and large intestine. So the more you can do to keep that healthy, the more boost your immune system's going to get. The fifth one, I'd never heard this one before, but I found it interesting. Sip sage tea. Sage is packed full of immune-boosting antioxidant nutrients. It's also sedating and soothing to combat stress. So how do you make sage tea? Well, you can make it yourself by just buying some sage from the grocery store. Even the Randall's over here sells fresh sage. Put a couple of leaves, full leaves, in hot water, just like if you were making coffee or green tea, and let it soak in there, and add a little lemon, and you're on the way. But the sage tea will, also the suggestion was to add an immune boosting teaspoon of manuka honey. I've never had manuka honey. I don't know. I'm just taking tips from the people that wrote these articles. So anyway, I hope that's been interesting information. Those 5 ways you can boost your immune system that don't cost an arm and a leg and are pretty simple, everyday, easy to find remedies. So my health tip of the day. Bacteria in your mouth can lead to a permanent tooth loss as well as heart disease, Alzheimer's. We've known about the oral systemic connection. We've chased down that rabbit hole several times on Wisdom Wednesday. Bacteria. I usually do this about every 3 months. Check your toothbrush at home. If the bristles don't look like this, but they look like that, it's time to get rid of your toothbrush. If you've had a cold, or if you've been exposed to somebody with COVID, if you've had the flu, if you've had any kind of upper respiratory infection, or if your gums are bleeding, change your toothbrush, because it harbors some of those bacteria unless you've got one of those special infrared light things that you put your toothbrush into every day. And I know very few people who do that. So if your toothbrush starts getting spread out, or if you've recently been sick, get rid of that toothbrush and get a new one. If you've got an ultrasonic toothbrush, buy the new heads. You can buy them on Amazon. They'll ship them to you the next day. They come 3 at a time. So that's my health tip for the day. Check your toothbrush out. Change it out if it looks old. And otherwise, have a healthy, safe next week. And I'll see you next week for another version of Wisdom Wednesday. This is our last one in January. Next Tuesday is February 1st, so it'll be our first February. And I'll let you know what our motto is or what our theme is next week. I bet you can guess, since Valentine's Day is in the month of February. So long, stay safe out there.